104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports and the Deathwish Coffee Fantasy Football League. Hey, guys, how many weeks have you been the high score?
None yet. None.
All right. How many weeks have you won?
3. I got a pretty good squad right now.
I'm 5-1. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty good, but not as good as the guy we got on the phone.
Well, I've never had the high score though, and I play this guy this week. Is this your fifth? This is your fifth winning week, right?
This is my 5th winning week.
John Swedish of Deathwish wins again. My understanding is you're walking around the office with a crown on, making all the other members of the Fantasy Football League call you King John.
It's King John. Bow to me. I am the fantasy master champion. I am your fantasy ruler. I am the king of the castle, and you all suck.
He's a fair and benevolent king.
That's right. That's right. I'm probably one of the nicest kings you'll ever have to rule over you poor souls, suckers.
I wake up every morning to a text of how bad my team is, except for this week where you were laughing because I won with a kicker. But
you beat Eric, the freaking kicker, and I'm like, yo, Eric, you need to beat Levack. You cannot lose to a kicker.
And he did.
Of all the things to lose to is a kicker.
Well, you better look out for that kicker.
It's got to be the worst feeling in the world.
You got to look out for that kicker. He's coming for you, sir.
Well, here's the thing. I've watched your scores. I've watched you kind of bounce around. And, I'm playing you this week, and I am pretty sure your kicker will not fare or even be involved in the decision.
Dare I ask you this question? We talk about with college basketball teams and some Major League Baseball teams like the Indians. Has It's Always Shady in Buffalo peaked too soon? Are you concerned about the stretch run for your team, that they're so good so early? Are you going to have this type of kick in December?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the Bills have been notoriously disappointing. They start off well, and then they kind of trail off. And basically, they beat the teams they shouldn't beat, and then they lose to the teams that they should beat. And so I never get my hopes up. I always look at them as, every year is a new year, and every year it's a disappointment. So hopefully this year things are a little different. I like the team. I like the coaching, but they got a long way to go. I remember, what was it, when Brian Fitzpatrick, I think he won 4-1. They gave him this huge contract, and I think he won 2 games the rest a few years back. So, when hopes are high, if you're a Bills fan, hopes are high, somewhere along the line, they're just going to screw you.
This is what I love about John from Deathwish. It's the Deathwish Fantasy Football League Trash Talk segment. High score again. Guys, you asked him about his fantasy team, and he's so gung-ho to talk about the Bills that he answered the question as if it was about the Bills.
Well, fine. See, this is how I feel my team relates to the Bills. You start off high and you finish cold. The problem is you start off high, and you know what happens. You get to the playoffs, and they give you a gift on either end. Either you're good in the beginning and you suck at the end, or you're suck in the beginning and you're great at the end. This whole trash talk thing is like a curse. My team starts off high, and I'm just going to get screwed. I'm going to get knocked out in the first round because that's how it goes.
That's what's happened to me almost every year in the Deathwish League. I'll have the best regular season record, and I get bounced in the third place game. I lose multiple games.
You know what? I'm going to sound like I'm kissing up here for a second, but the Deathwish League is really good. Like, the teams who are in last place are only 2-4. There's not like 1 0-6 team, and everyone's not updating. It's a really competitive league.
Well, and that's because my team is awesome, and you guys have garbage on your team, and all you do is you shuffle the garbage around, yet it's still garbage.
John, we have the same record.
It doesn't matter how you cut it; it's still garbage.
This is the battle of the first place teams.
You're going to be 5-2 when I'm done with you.
Oh, there's only
and then I'll be 6-1. So, in fact, when I played, I lost to Daniel Snyder.
Yeah,
right. And the reason is because I said, you know what? He needs a win.
Oh my God.
He needs one. He needs a win. So I'm literally running my team parallel to that of my Buffalo Bills.
It's the It's the number one record in the East, me, 5-1, the Deshaun Kaiser Soze's, versus the number one record in the West, you, 5-1, always Shady in Buffalo.
Yeah, so all we have to do is look at past performance. That's your key indicator,
here we go.
right?
Here we go.
So
He's so analytical. You got to get him talking about coffee one time, guys. Like, no one knows more about coffee than John Swedish, and he's now taking that level to fantasy football. Go ahead.
So 5 and 6. Okay, so I'm 5-1, 5 out of 6. But all 5 weeks that I've won, I've had the most points.
Right.
I see the trend. Do you see the trend?
That you're due for another down week, and then I'm gonna win.
Well, it's either it's a down week and you have the high score, or I whoop your butt, which I think is going to happen.
We may have to get together and watch some games this weekend while the Deshaun Kaiser Soze's win.
Well, here I'll tell you, I won't even watch full. I won't even look at my lineup. I'll just call me Tuesday morning. That's all you're going to have. Call me on Tuesday morning. We'll be on here for a 6 week in a row. Six weeks out of 7.
6 out of 7. I pep talk my guys. I tell them if there's 1 week you need to bring it all. It's this week. We need to take down King John. Call me Robin Hood this week because I'm about to steal from the rich and give to the rich.
Well, listen here, Robin. Okay, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to have a very long, deep, heartfelt conversation with your guys, with your boys. Because, I mean, they're probably looking at the team they're up against right now, and they're probably pretty deflated, you know.
There's no Patriots on my team.
Huh?
There's no Patriots on my team. There's no deflation.
Yes. Oh, yeah, speaking of that, how much do you think the Patriots paid the refs in that Jets game? Oh, that should have been a touchdown. Jeez, they probably got them on the payroll, too.
John Swedish, again, the high score for the Deathwish Coffee Fantasy Football League. Do I smell a wager? Like, do I get a bottle of the Deathwish Cauldron Vodka if I win?
If you win, or if you beat me, I will give you a bottle of the regular vodka. If you get the high score for the week, I'll give you a Cauldron aged.
I don't hate that.
So if there's a week for you to win, now would be the time. Now, if I win and I get the highest score, I get to run the show.
You get to run the show.
Yeah. All we're going to do is play clips of Van Miller. Touchdown, Buffalo.
I think we can negotiate a number of times that plays during the show, but I can't just hand over the show.
I would bet on. I would bet something too.
All right, 10 minutes of just Van Miller. Back from the glory days, maybe we'll play clips from the comeback win in the playoffs against the Houston Oilers.
Frank Reich will stop by.
Do all those clips. We'll do a memory lane segment.
I already have a bet going with another Swedish. I'm playing Scott this week, and I've already bet earlier back in the draft a 30 rack of beer that Robert Woods would have less catches than Jordan Matthews. Not looking good for me right now.
Is Jordan Matthews even in the league?
No, he's in the league. He's injured.
Jordan Matthews is on my team. So if Jordan Matthews ends up playing and he gets more catches, do I get the 30 rack?
Talk to Scott about that.
Here's the thing with Scott and his bet. I think he still owes Jason Rock from 5-6 years ago. I think he still owes him a 30 rack.
So you're going to die of thirst before that's paid off. All right, John, man. I look forward to a good game against you, and hopefully we don't talk to you on this segment ever again.
I have already mailed out a box of tissues for you. That should be arriving. I mailed them out yesterday, but ground. So it's going to take a few days. I don't want to pay the extra in shipping.
I hope that you use those tissues to pack my vodka because I'm going to win big this week.
You're going to need it to dry your tears and blow your nose, boy. You're going down.
King John versus Robin Hood. It's on.
All right, fellas. We'll talk to you soon.